meetings. So please could you mute your microphone, raise your hand if you need to perhaps inquire about anything. You're also very welcome to make use of the chat function. We're going to keep our videos off during the proceedings, except if you're one of the speakers, so that we can just save everybody's bandwidth and get a better quality of connectivity. If we go through the order of the business of the day and you are one of the people that are either proposing or seconding, you're welcome to note that in the chat. And then also Kerry will provide her cell phone number in the chat. Should anyone experience a challenge in voting, you could also send through your proposing and seconding to her via her cell phone if that's easier for you to do. And then I'd like to also inform you that we will be recording this just so that we have that as record. And then I'd like you to please take out your cell phone. And I know that, as we're online, we multitask and we every now and again go back and check messages and so on. But please may I ask you to take out your phones, to like Cotlands on Facebook and to kind of tweet or put something on your Facebook page with regards to the AGM, and please use the hashtags Cotlands as well as the hashtag AGM 2020. That would really help us just create a little bit of following and a hype and get people also interested in the work that we are doing. And then also, I'd like to encourage you to stay on the call until the end. We've got a little bit of a fun quiz that we're going to be doing towards the end of the program. I'd like to then call on Dumisani, our chairperson, to open the 76th Ordinary Annual General Meeting for us. Dumisani, over to you.
Thank you, Monica. Good morning, everyone. I trust you are well. Notice is hereby given that the 76th Ordinary Annual General Meeting of members and subscribers of being held virtually by micro teams on Tuesday, the 8th September 2020 at 8 o'clock for the following business to do. First one is to read the notice of convening the meeting and to read and confirm the minutes of the previous annual general meeting and to receive and consider the following reports of the positions on the organization for the financial period ended 31st March 2020. Chairman's report, the CEO's report, financial report. The next one, to elect the members of the board for the ensuing year. And to elect the auditors for the ensuing year and to consider the business concerning the affairs of the organization, which is brought under consideration by the reports submitted today. By the order of the Board of Management, I declare this meeting officially open. The next item on the agenda will be for us to approve the minutes. I take it in your notice you were given the copy of the minutes. I will go through page 1 with you to ensure that if there is any error or corrections to be made, please shout or indicate or highlight for Kerry to do that. Page 2, any error or correction, if you spot any or you have spotted any. Page 3, I hope I'm not too fast for you. The last page. Kerry, have you spotted any comments?
No comments have come through, Dumi.
Okay. Anyone to propose that we adopt these minutes as a true reflection of the meeting that we had last year? Any seconder for that? I'm sure, Kerry, you can see that on your side.
Thank you. I have Pumzile proposing.
Yeah. Any seconder for that?
I have Moteki seconding. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll offer an opportunity for any matters arising from these minutes. If there is anyone who wants to say something or comment on any of the issues It's going once and going second time. The opportunity is gone. You will have an opportunity at the end under general session, under general, to also offer any other help, any other comments or question. Let's move on to the item on the reports. My report reads as follows. Cotlands was independently established and operates play-based solutions for children between ages of birth and 6 years, and delivers such quality solutions on behalf of partners. We have fulfilled this mandate responsibly, always being guided by the principle of doing no harm. Our sense of responsibility, not only to our current beneficiaries, but also towards creating a sustainable NPO for generations to come, has been a driving force behind our strategic decision taken during this year. The board is aware of the important role adults play in the lives of children. Parents and ECD practitioners are primarily influencers of how children grow and develop. The more empowered, supported, and skilled both are, the better the outcome for the children will be. Cotlands Ignite, our online training platform, was based on this truth. This platform makes it possible to author a range of courses for a variety of target audiences. The first courses are aimed at ECD practitioners and toy librarians. Thousands of ECD practitioners are not qualified but have experience in ECD. It is our ultimate goal that our online platform will make recognition of prior learning and accredited courses material more accessible and affordable. This groundbreaking initiative will close the digital divide in the early childhood sector, reduce the projected 350,000 skills gap in the ECD workplace, create a blueprint for how we do e-recognition of prior learning in the ECD sector, and ultimately scaling up the training for both parents and ECD practitioners working with our children, with the young children. However, operating an NPO always brings with it the question of sustainability. Since 2012, we have not been able to register our playgroup programs with the Department of Social Development in the Western Cape and Eastern Cape, as well as in KwaZulu-Natal. Regrettably, the lack of the knowledge and processes to register playgroup programs, combined with the inadequate funding norms and standard from the government, resulted in the closure of the early playgroups in these areas, affecting the livelihood of 60 individuals. Some of the affected employees, however, consider the option of continuing the playgroups as private concerns. We continue to support the parents and their children through our toy library program in these areas, including the privately run playgroups. Cotlands will continue advocating for early learning playgroup program in the country. Cotlands is a trusted brand associated with impeccable record on ethical and responsible management of resources. We are extremely appreciative of our loyal investors who financially support our work. Your continued interest in what we do, your feedback and messages is invaluable in helping us to sustain our valued relationships. Your ongoing financial support that has taken place based learning opportunities to the most vulnerable and marginalized children in South Africa. I wish to take this opportunity to thank board members for the manner in which they uphold good governance principles. The annual board review and investments in board training on good governance were essential elements in ensuring that we have an effective and optimal functioning board. Without your voluntary contribution of the time and expertise to serve, Cotlands would be poorer. On behalf of the board, I also wish to express our gratitude to the executive leadership team, Cotlanders, for dedicating many hours to serve our children through play-based learning. Your interest in the well-being of our parents, of our children, is highly valued. On a daily basis, you bring hope in challenging circumstances. During the past 6 months, it has been an awesome time to see you, the way you labored, sometimes under very difficult circumstances. You listen, support, and encourage. You bring joy, laughter, and a sense of belonging to every child. We appreciate the work you do. Consequently, the children in our country will be to break the cycle of generational poverty, thus creating the equal society. In your playful manner, you nurture school readiness skills. You lay the foundation on which the future learning and education will be built. I want to encourage you to continue to empower, engage, and ignite learning, not only to the children you so lovingly care for, but also parents and adults working with children. In the coming year, we look forward to the first intake of those candidates whose prior learning would have been recognized, the expansion of our toy libraries, network, as well as increase in our advocacy. Yours truly, Dumisani. Thank you. I will then call up Monica to actually give us a CEO's report.
Thank you, Dumisani, and it's really wonderful to just also see from your perspective the amazing work that we have done, and thank you for appreciating that also in the manner that you did. So I'd like to start off my report with a little bit of a quote by Vygotsky. So he says that in play, a child is always above his average age, above his daily behavior, and in play, it is as though he were a head taller than himself. Well, play-based learning lies at the heart of the work that we do. Every Cotlander believes in the power of play. Cotlanders are playful people. They are experts at helping both adults and children. I want to thank every single one of the 175 Cotlanders for the year under review, for the work that you've done, the achievements that we've reached, and your ability to overcome so many challenges. You are such a resourceful group of people. You take such an interest in the well-being of the people that we serve. And also, I want to really thank you and honor you for also standing a head taller than yourself during the past year. No matter what challenge, no matter what opportunity, you showed up. You were wholeheartedly engaged. You diligently served our children and their parents. And I also want to thank you for the investment you make in everyone you work with on a daily basis. Cotlanders, we've reached and achieved so much during this year, and I want to share a little bit of our numbers with you. So during this year, we managed to engage and support 10,942 children through our direct services, also through the projects and capacity building work that we are doing. We provided 372,000 meals to children that attend our early learning playgroup programs. And we were very pleased also to be able to refer 207 of those children for further health and psychosocial intervention. We also, on an annual basis, administer our baseline and summative assessments at the beginning, at the end of the year, to really track the impact that we're making towards improving children's school readiness scores. And this year we improved it by 23%. The increase of this is as a result of us focusing more on regular attendance of children, the investment of continuously developing our Cotlanders, and also providing on-site support and mentoring where people are delivering services. I want to salute the 22 toy librarians that operate from Cotland's owned toy library depots and that run and manage the 8 the 9 depots that we have, and also the 8 mobile toy libraries. Because of our projects and partnership-based work, we've inspired and supported 32 toy library depots across the country that are owned and operated by other organizations. And collectively, there's 414 toy library members that access over 43,000 toys from the toy libraries. We're also especially proud of the 4 toy library depots that were set up in partnership with the Department of Health in KwaZulu-Natal, Mondi and other investors. The innovation and the combination of early learning and health services were able to reach 3,710 children as we collaborated to deliver both the health and the early learning services where clinics do their various services. We also influenced and worked with 15,640 adults, and very much in a play-based fashion as we conducted training. And we celebrated the 3rd year of our Play Online project in partnership with UNICEF and the Department of Basic Education. A whopping 239,000 people registered on playsa.org, and 171,000 completed one of the 4 play-based learning online courses. And this really gave us the sense that we can start working in the space of online learning. And as Dumisani mentioned, we've launched Cotlands Ignite. And this now has a number of courses that actually sits on this platform. The Level 4 QCTO Occupational Certificate for Early Childhood, and then also a new venture creation toy library skills development course is available on this platform, and we're busy with a number of pilots as we speak. We've been accredited for both these online courses, and we're very proud of that. The toy library course is definitely the first of its kind in Africa. We also, our ultimate aim is for us to license this platform to service providers who can then take their own cohort of students through the training and making use of Kotlin's material and technical support. And it's envisaged that the first cohort of students would start enrolling from May onwards. The theme of this year's annual report is a toy library empowers, engages and ignites early learning. When the executive team reflected on our activities of the year, it was clear that other than the online learning platform, we invested most of our time in advocating for toy libraries, while positioning Cotlands as the toy library experts in the sector, able to inspire, empower, engage and ignite others to support early learning through toy libraries. We successfully collaborated with the International Toy Library Association and the Toy Library Association South Africa to put together the 15th International Toy Library Conference, attended by 202 delegates in July last year. Following the conference, Cotlands mentored the newly elected CLASA committee towards operating independently from Cotlands. We are delighted to confirm that the association is now a registered non-profit organisation. In addition, Cotlands, in collaboration with CLASA, inspired and directed and supported the process of setting up toy library norms and standards, which culminated in a toy library guideline which would be used in Gauteng by the Department of Social Development. This guideline will help implementers and officials to register toy library programs with the Gauteng Department of Social Development. In the next year, we're looking forward to these guidelines being approved and used in Gauteng and adapted by other provinces. During the fourth quarter, we also finalized an extensive monitoring and evaluation process aimed at improving reporting and support for toy libraries. In the coming year, we'll be implementing this revised system. Our operating context was impacted by the economic downturn and very much amplified by the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite this, we managed to continue delivering services because people continued giving Cotlands donations and providing technical support. Our audited financial statement is proof of our ability to accurately account for every cent that is donated. Our communication with our investors has improved, and we've made greater efforts to personally connect with our donors. Thank you so much for donating and investing in Cotlands. To our 12 esteemed and very skilled board members who volunteer their time and provide oversight to Cotlands and our overall governance, I really want to express my thanks and gratitude. The manner in which you hold the leadership team accountable is really appreciated. The board functions well and makes a concerted effort to support the leadership team. On behalf of every Cotlander, I wish to thank you for your support and in our work. Your decisions are always in the best interest of the children, the parents and the communities we serve. You care about Cotlands and every Cotlander. Your insight, perspective, your questions and the support are of immense value. We're excited about Kotlin Strategy 100. Cotlands is 84 years old this year, and this strategy is aimed to take us to turning 100 years. The long-term strategic objective is to secure the financial sustainability of Cotlands so that we can continue serving children, their parents and communities. The decrease in available donations makes it critically important for Cotlands to save costs and to diversify our income while we increase our impact and setting up a network of 500 toy library operators. Our medium-term strategy is to launch Cotlands Ignite, to add digitally authored courses to this platform, to mobilize funding on behalf of prospective learners in the form of bursaries, and also securing multi-year strategic partnerships. The short-term strategy is to increase our advocacy activities around the importance of play-based early learning during early childhood. We trust that our annual report, which is beautifully designed and presented by HKLM, will give you a glimpse into our exciting world of play-based learning. Thank you so much for being part of the Cotlands family. I'd like to ask Motseki Majaka to present the Treasurer's report to us.
I don't think he has unmuted. Yeah, there you are.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're online. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Can I confirm that you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my name is Motseki Majake. I'm the treasurer of Cotlands. So here's my report. Cotlands operate in a volatile and uncertain economic environment. The second quarter of 2019 saw increased trade tensions between the world's two largest economies as the US imposed further trade tariffs on certain Chinese imports. This negatively impacted economic confidence and suggested slowing global growth in the months to come. Through 2019, the impact was felt even more severely in most emerging economies such as South Africa, where pressures on economic, financial markets and currency weighed heavily. Although the US and Chinese economies remained fairly strong, there were worrying signs of difficulty ahead. In addition, the United Kingdom and Europe continued navigating around Brexit, putting new investment largely on hold. In South Africa through 2019 and in early 2020, consumer and investor confidence fell further as the most pressing concerns remained. SOE debt levels, in particular Eskom debt as unsustainable electricity supply, government policy uncertainty and rising unemployment. This became very evident in the fourth quarter of 2019 as the country fell into a technical recession. In late March 2020, Moody's downgraded South Africa to sub-investment grade, confirming junk status. The COVID pandemic has rocked the global economy to the core. The economic shutdown has caused a turmoil across the world, and when economic shutdowns have caused turmoil across the world, and when economic activity will be restored remains very uncertain. The true impact will only be apparent in the months to come, but it is sure to have a long-lasting negative impact. It is widely expected that global recession will prevail. Locally, this comes at the worst possible time as the country was already struggling with weakening economy and surging debt levels. The outlook is particularly negative for the second and third quarters, with hopes for some form of recovery in late this year and into early 2021. Kotlin Strategy 100 is working towards diversifying Kotland's revenue streams to mitigate the risk associated with the economy, with a weakening economy. We have strategically classified our business into 3 segments: programs, projects, and training. Advocacy strongly interwoven, supported, promoted in each segment. Our program revenue accounts for 53% of Kotland's total revenue, with projects contributing 45%. The training revenue contribution for 2020 remained low at 2%. In the future, we expect to see a substantial increase in revenue generated through Cotlands Ignite. Our online recognition of prior learning and training platform, considering investment has made into the platform. This year, 60% of our program income was from donations. Government service level agreements generated 28%, and foreign funding revenue 12%. Our consequent expenditure relates to associated programs, projects, and delivery and training delivery. Being a service-oriented organization, the majority of our annual spend relates to employee overheads, followed by service delivery, property administration, motor vehicle, marketing, and ICT infrastructure cost. The 2021 budget process was undertaken using a zero-based approach. The leadership team interrogated costs in detail and were individually responsible for providing input in their respective discipline in the budget. This approach to budgeting has laid a solid foundation to implement responsibility accounting principles for 2021. Furthermore, the departmental strategic objectives were aligned with the cost structure. From the 2021 financial year, we have realigned our income and cost reporting in the general ledger, allowing us to clearly distinguish between direct and indirect costs, improving our ability to track and manage programs. To manage programs, projects, and training on the more granular level. Our key financial objective is to maximize service delivery and minimize indirect cost, ultimately ensuring sustainability. During the 2021 financial year, we will be disposing of 2 buildings that Cotland owns, one in the Western Cape and our previous Gauteng headquarters. Cotland's board and leadership team remain committed to good governance, sound accounting principles, and ethical conduct, as we are interested with the investment made by South Africans to enable the continued service of vulnerable and marginalized children through quality play-based early learning programs. Our ultimate goal is to ensure the financial sustainability of Cotland strategically. Strategically, the business has been aligned to ensure that organization celebrates its centenary in 2036. That's the end of my report.
Well, thank you so much, Monica, for the succinct operational details. And Motseki, thank you for that financial information that you have given us. Noting that we have already heard from Motseki about the financials, let's move on to the financial statements. These were attached in our notice for this meeting. I take it we have had time to peruse through that, and I would like us to just extend our appreciation to our finance team that has worked endlessly to actually put the financials and monitor the finances almost on a daily basis because of the challenges during the COVID-19 situation. Without much ado, let me ask for a proposal to adopt the financial reports that you have all seen or received. And also request for a seconder for the proposal. Kerry, can you see that on your side?
Sorry, I haven't seen anybody yet. Can I
Any
propose
proposer to accept the financials?
Thank you. Motseki's proposed.
Any seconder to that?
Michael second. Thank you.
Thank you. We will move on to item number 7 on our agenda. I will request that the board members or nominees, as I call your name, you will actually open up your video so that everyone can see you. Firstly, I would like to welcome Marie-Louise Samuels as our new board member who's coming in, and Nwabisa Nwanyache, she's also joining our team, and therefore the total ballot reads as follows. We have Janet Motseki, the one we've just heard from, Nazir Ali, Neven Postma, Pumzile Boy, Tashiana Page, Neil Maslin is an international board member. She is in Europe. Marcel Arnold, Marie-Louise, as I've just introduced her, and Nwabisa, new board members. I hope your videos are all up. Yeah, I can see your faces. Some of you I'm seeing for the first time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know they cannot elect themselves, therefore the only people sitting outside. Could you please propose the approval of this ballot? Kerry, do you see any? I propose that actually we adopt this ballot. Any seconder?
I've got Motseki seconding and Michael seconding. Thank you.
Lovely. You are all welcome, and I therefore charge you to take Cotlands forward in the next 12 months and beyond. Welcome. Thank you.
Let me put in about 10 minutes.
Well, unfortunately, in the past 12 months, we also had 2 members of our team. Nontobeko Sibisi also requested that she will just take a sabbatical for a while because of family as well as business. And then Fabian Naidu decided to take an opportunity in Cape Town, and therefore, since it was a new assignment, he wanted to step down for a while. And we appreciate their contribution while they were here. Actually, Nontobeko was the one who worked during the International Toy Library Conference. She did very well, and Fabiano worked with us in many other projects because of his financial expertise and project experience. We appreciate them very much. If they are online, we thank you immensely. I will hand over to Neven.
Yes, well, it is my duty now to thank Michael and Dumi, who are stepping down from the board this year. And Cotlands has been around for almost 84 years, and Michael and Dumi, you guys are not far behind. I mean, Michael has been on the Cotlands board for 28 years, which is an astonishing achievement. And I thought it would be useful to just try to put that in context and take us back to when he joined in 1992 and some of the things that were happening in the world in 1992. Well, Nelson Mandela had only been out of prison for 2 years, and he announced on the 21st of June that the ANC was going to suspend negotiations with the South African government after the Boipatong massacre on the 17th of June. So we're going through pretty difficult and dark times in this country and in the world, but gosh, we've been through even darker ones in the past. Bill Clinton was elected president of the United States. The Olympic Games were held in Barcelona. The Cold War was declared over in 1992. Sadly, ironically, just as the war in Yugoslavia, in former Yugoslavia, started. And for those of you who can remember that far back and who can bear her voice, the top song around the world was I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. And so, Michael, I thought of this quote closing and in thanks to you. It's from Denzel Washington, and I think it's beautiful. At the end, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you have given back. And Michael, in the 3 years that I've had the chance to work with you on the board and in the Business Development Committee, you have always given back. You've always had an eye on the future of what Cotlands could and should be, as well as a very clear steer, not forget where Cotlands comes from and all of the things that it has learned in its history and in your history on the board. And so with that, thank you. And I am very much hoping that Google Translate's translation of thank you into Polish is correct. Dziękuję ci.
It's very correct. It's very correct. And even you're putting me in a very emotional position, but great that you remember the history of the world that far back. But yeah, it was a journey. But I must say one thing, if I may use this opportunity, to be part of the team, such a professional team over the years with so many dedicated people. It was really a pleasure to be part of the group. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And Dumi, you've been around for 23 years. In other words, you joined in 1997, which was also hardly a quiet year on the world stage. At that point, Nelson Mandela was still president. It was the year that our constitution came into effect, and the year that the combined version of Nkosi Sikelel' Africa and Distem became our official national anthem. The first Harry Potter novel was published in 1997. Princess Diana was killed and 2 billion people watched her funeral. Steve Jobs returned to Apple, and the movie Titanic was released. It was the #1 film around the world, followed by, can you believe it, Jurassic Park and Men in Black. So Dumi, a quote for you from John Bunyan. You've not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you. Dumi, we can never repay you for your calm and kind leadership, for your wisdom, and for your continued and continual commitment to Cotlands and all that it is. On behalf of myself as the Vice Chair, the entire board, Monica, the CEO, the executive management team, and every Cotlander who works for the organization and every Cotlander who by extension benefits from the work that we do. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll now hand back over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for those kind words, and yes, I appreciate it very much. And I trust that the new board is going to take the company to 100 years. Hopefully I'll still be around, though I might not be able to see you or walk or do anything by then, but I will still wave a flag for you on the sideline. Let's continue with item number 8. The auditors we have is LSG integrated, and we wish to renominate them again as our auditors for the forthcoming year. Any proposal and seconder? Can you confirm, Kerry?
I don't. So Janice proposed, Marcel seconded. Thank you.
Lovely, appreciate it. Thank you so much. I open again another opportunity for any question and answer that we will give to you once again. One more time, let's try if there's anyone who has got any question to the reports given, as well as just in general. Any questions? And if you notice any question in writing, Kerry, please shout. Or you can just open up, unmute and talk if you have any questions. It's going once.
So there is a hand raised, Jimmy. I'm just trying to see who's raised it.
Okay. Unmute and speak.
Yeah, so whoever's raised their hand, please unmute. I'm sorry, I'm not able to see on my screen here.
Yeah. You are invited to unmute and speak. We can't hear you at the moment.
I think it's an old hand, Kerry. It is Michael's hand.
Oh, is it still sitting there? Thank you, Marcel. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
In terms of the chat, Jimmy, there are a couple of chats that have come through. Janet saying it's been an honor to continue to serve. Welcome to Nwabisa and Mari Louise. Janet's also said to Michael and Dumi, I'm so sad to see you leave the board. You have both served with excellence. Your passion and commitment to Cotlands have been an inspiration to all of us. I look forward to finding new ways of connecting together. Again, from Janet, we also all know that you are only stepping down because the Constitution requires you to. Marcel said, thanks, Niven, for articulating our thanks to Dumi and Michael so beautifully. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I must say thank you as well, if I can add to it, and it's very emotional, as I said earlier. Thank you.
Before I wrap the meeting, I will hand over to Monica. Thank you, Monica.
I'd like to just thank everybody that joined the AGM this morning. Please don't leave the meeting right now. We still have a little bit of a quiz game that we would like to play with you. We'd also be emailing the beautifully designed digital version of our annual report to everybody who attended the AGM, and it will also be available on our website for those of you who wish to interrogate the information a little bit more that was shared this morning. I also want to just again thank the board members and also the staff for their continued support and for the dedication with which they work. And then our annual report every year is really a 4 months in the making process, and we could never do this if it wasn't for the continued support of the HKLM team. They review our report, they give us guidance, they allow for us to interfere every now and again with the creativity, and Karabu, who project manages this, is always so patient, and also to Kerry, who had to do copious, to and fro to get this done. Thank you so much. It's really always such a proud piece of Cotland's history that we also capture in the annual report, and it's always also very encouraging to see a year's hard work summarized in this fashion. HKLM then also secures the printing for on behalf of Cotlands, and so all of the design work as well as the printing is then also donated. And thank you then also to Papercore, to Lawprint and Untamed Potential for your donation towards the production of our annual report. Michelle from Singular Systems, thank you so much for doing the first round of checking for us. We always are so appreciative of that, and you have such a wonderful eye to spot all the inconsistencies and to get us to write clearly and succinctly. And then also to KPMG, to Paresh and the team, thank you so much for the manner in which you conduct our non-financial audit, the way in which your team helps us always to improve how we capture our statistical numbers. We really are appreciative of that. And then also to Net Florist for your continued support of the work that we are doing, and also for the thank you gifts that we are always able to give people who invest in the production and so on of the annual report. So Dumisani, I want to hand over to you to just formally close the meeting, and then we're going to do a quick online quiz.
Thank you. Maybe before I close, I would like to extend my appreciation for the time I spent with the Cotlands, formerly as a chairman. I work with Jackie most of the time and the team, and at the moment confident that the team under you, Monica, and the board that you have, you are going to reach 100 very swiftly and quickly, and with all the confidence I have in you. I know I'm walking out of this back door, but I'm coming in on another door, since I'm going to stay in as a trustee in the Cotlands Trust. Therefore, I'll be able to peep in now and again and just check how you guys are doing. I'll be interested to look at your reports as the year progresses. But otherwise, thank you so much to all of you, the team, the Cotlanders out there, and I'll be watching as you are continuing to take the organization forth. Thank you so much. And this is the end of our today's business, and therefore I would like to thank everyone who has participated and attended, and I declare this meeting officially closed. I'll hand over to Monica.
Thank you, Dumisani. So we had to do, the formal proceedings, but we just could not let this opportunity to go by without us doing a little bit of a playful activity. And so we're very blessed to have Larry Benjamin, a very experienced quizmaster, join us, and he's hosted many online quizzes. Larry, you're welcome, and we are so looking forward to seeing how you are going to handle and manage this online quiz. And so time to have a little bit of fun. So over to you, Larry.
Okay, good morning, and good morning everybody on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I don't know if you're all in Johannesburg, but the sun is shining, the skies are clear. So anyway, we have just a small amount of time to do a quiz. So we're only going to be doing one round, and it's going to be a picture quiz round. So this is what you all need to do. You should all have a piece of pen and paper with you. There's going to be 20 pictures in the picture quiz round that I'm going to put onto the screen shortly when I share the screen. Okay, I will scroll down for, 1 or 2 rows at a time. Write your answers on a piece of paper. Then once everybody has done so, I'll give you about 5 to 7 minutes to do that. And then I will read out the answers. You'll mark your papers, and you can then post up your score that you achieved in the meeting chat section of Microsoft Teams. Okay, so if I'm able to share. Nothing's coming up on the screen now, is it?
Yes, it is. It's there. I'm seeing it.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. No, sorry about. I don't know why it wasn't. So I took another version of this. Is everybody able to see the picture that's now on your screen?
Yes,
Yes, we can.
Okay, then,
Yes,
so we don't need to wait for Kerry to. Okay. All right. So let's just see if this. Okay. All right. So if you can have a look over here, the first row, everybody, numbers 1 through 5. There are 3 games. So Cotlands is all about playing in games. So there are 3 very famous games to identify. So number 1, 2, and number 3. Number 4 is a famous South African. Number 5 is a caricature of a famous person. And then the second row on the grid, and I'll leave up the first 2 rows for the next 3 or 4 minutes. So these are labels of things that you can buy in the supermarket. Okay, or at at a supermarket, or when you go shopping. So number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all part of the label of a particular product. So what you need to do is tell me the name of the product, but can you give me, don't just say, for example, if it's shampoo, that it's shampoo, you'd need to say organic shampoo. So be as specific as you can, both in terms of what the product is and the specific brand, okay? Those are the first 10, there are 20 in total, so some board games to identify, a couple of people in the top row as well, and then 5 labels of things that you can buy in your local supermarket or at somewhere like Pick n Pay or Checkers or somewhere like that. Okay, and then I'll give you a little bit of time to write down those answers, numbers 1 to 10, and then I will scroll down. I'll make these slightly, hopefully that be nice and clear for you to see. Okay, everybody, so my assumption is, hopefully I'm not going too fast, that you've all had a good look at the first row. I'll come back to each of these rows a little bit later. I'll give you a second glance at it. Third row on the grid, I will leave the second row, so numbers 11 to 15 should be appearing on your screen now. Can I just get an affirmative from somebody to say that you can see this?
Yes, we can see it.
Right. So Cotlands, of course, is about younger people. So what we've done here is we've taken 5 very famous people, and we've taken photographs of them, or we've put up pictures of them when they were in their younger years. And let's see how many of row 3, numbers 11 to 15, you can get in your answers. So these are all people who have photos of them when they were in much younger stages of their lives. So hopefully you're getting lots of answers. I think some of them are quite easy. Some of them may be a little bit more taxing or a little bit more challenging. And I'm going to give you another 20 seconds or so before the second row, the labels, disappear at the top of your screen. And we'll go down to the final row. Okay, so I'm moving down to the final row. So numbers 11 to 15 will remain on the screen, but coming up is our last row. So here are cryptic movies, 3 cryptic movies for number 16, 17, and 18. So can you tell us, I heard earlier on towards the conclusion of your meeting, you mentioned that Titanic was the movie that was happening in 1997, I think I remembered you saying. But here are 3 movies, 16, 17, and 18, that are cryptic movies. So I'm giving you a clue that's a cryptic clue. So from what you can see, can you decipher or tell us what the movie is? And then finally, the last 2 on the screen, numbers 19 and 20, are eyes of famous people. Now, number 20 might be quite tough. So I can tell you it's a famous soccer player. Okay. So that's a tough one, I think, unless you are a football fan. It's a famous footballer, but we can't have it too easy. All right, so don't shout out any answers. If you are talking, keep your answers just to yourselves for the moment. Okay, I'm going to leave this on the screen for another minute or so. Okay, and then I will stop the sharing and we'll go through the answers. And we'll see how you fared in our small, in our short, but hopefully fun picture quiz this morning. But before I do that, I will go back to the first couple of rows so you can have a second look.
Larry, this sure is harder than what I thought it would be.
Well, if you're getting 10 out of 20, you're doing okay. All right, you can't have it we can't make it too easy, otherwise everyone gets the answers. All right, I've gone back to the first 2 rows again. Okay, you want to have it a little bit challenging, so at least we can learn something as well as all impress each other with our answers this morning. Okay, so as I said, the first row features a couple of games because Cotlands is all about playing. So there's some board games, and then there's famous South African, a famous singer, number 5. That's easy, I think. And then we've got another brief look at the labels of things that you could buy in the supermarket. All of these would be stocked either in your kitchen or you might eat some of them. And then going down for our last look at the famous people when they were younger. Okay. Okay, and finally, you've got the pictures of the movie clues, which I think these should be quite easy, I think, guys. And then a famous South African, number 19, and then number 20 is a tough one. It's a football player, soccer player from England. He's now retired. He used to play for Manchester United, if you have any Manchester United fans or any sport fans among you. Okay. All right, everybody, I'm going to unshare the screen now, and Okay, and I'm going to go through the answers. So let's see how we fared. In fact, okay, yeah, let's see how we fared. All right. So for number 1, are we all ready to mark, by the way? We're all ready to mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
they are.
So who can tell me what they wrote for number 1? You can simply just shout out the answer and
Trivial Pursuit. Trivial
Trivial
Pursuit.
Pursuit for 1, okay. Number 2 is a word game. It's not Scrabble, obviously. It is
Boggle.
Boggle for number 2. Okay, well done for number 2. Number 3
Pictionary.
is Pictionary, yes. So if you played Pictionary, that's number 3. Okay, number 4 is the former mayor of Johannesburg. And who's that?
Herman Mashaba.
Mashaba for 4.
Got
And
it.
number 5 is
Adele.
Adele. What's Adele's surname, by the way? Anyone?
Who knows?
Well,
No
I'm just
idea, but you need an updated picture.
it's Adele.
Have you seen the new Adele?
We just wanted Adele. Okay. All right. So let's go down to the supermarket labels.
Oh.
Number 6. Guys, would you like me to put this back onto the screen so you can have a look at them?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me put it back onto the screen. Let me share that again with you.
Toblerone.
And is it on your screen now, everyone?
Yes. Good. Yes.
Okay, great. So number 6 is indeed Toblerone. Yes, 100%. Toblerone.
Only one I got.
Good job.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Has anybody got all 6 out of 6 so far?
No.
No.
Who's got 5 out of 6?
I've got
Anyone
5.
Okay, great. Okay. Now number 7. Anybody? What's number 7?
Wrigley's gum.
Chewing gum.
It's Orbit. Wrigley's gum. So Orbit must be in your answer. That's the O from Orbit. So Orbit must be in the answer. Orbit's gum or Orbit gum made by Wrigley's. Okay. Now number 8. Anybody?
Frank.
Can we have some?
It's a good guess.
Chappies. Chappies.
Yes.
Who said Chappies? I can't see the name. Who said Chappies? No, Dumisani. I'm afraid it's not Chappies. Anybody else?
Spray and cook.
Spray and cook is the right answer.
well
Give yourself
done. Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Now number 9. I think we're going to get. Who's going to tell me number 9?
Pringles.
One is Pringles, 100%.
Wow.
And number 10. Anyone?
No idea.
Amstel.
It was some vintage.
No,
Yeah.
it's not Amstel. It's Windhoek Lager. Windhoek Lager
Yeah.
for number 10. All right. No,
Like I don't
Windhoek.
buy. I don't buy any of these things. I'm forgiven.
Okay, you forgive. Yes. Okay. All right. Number 11. So who's number 11?
Jacob Zuma.
Jacob Zuma, number 11, from a much younger age. He was probably in his 40s then, or maybe, yeah, probably. Number 12, anybody? That somebody as a child?
Trevor Noah.
No, not Trevor Noah.
That's Chris
Not
Brown.
Obama.
Barack Obama.
It's Chris Brown. I heard somebody
Chris
say Chris
Brown.
Brown. So whoever said Chris Brown, give yourselves a pat on your own back. Okay, well done. Chris Brown for number 12. 13, anybody?
No idea.
No
Yeah.
idea.
Have a guess.
Is it
Meghan?
not Megan?
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. No, not Meghan Markle.
Kim Kardashian.
It is Kim Kardashian. Yes, well
Wow.
done. Kim Kardashian.
Oh, well done.
13, when she
Well
was
done.
still a toddler. Okay, so it's probably at the age of 1 or 2 years old, 1 year old probably. 14, I don't think he's changed that much. Actor? Anyone?
Freddie something.
No, it's Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
Actor Steve Buscemi. Who's 15?
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Beyonce for 15. Very good. Okay. So Beyonce 15.
Well done, Moshe.
Okay. So well done. So let's go through those 3 movies. Number 16, anybody?
Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt. That is a picture of the singer Prince, and there's the Sphinx and the pyramids in the background. Prince of Egypt. Number 17, Happy Feet. Number 18, this one won.
$1 million baby.
Yeah.
$1 million baby.
Yes, $1 million baby. What the Oscar? I think in 2005 or 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Number 19, very familiar eyes. Anybody?
Brenda Fassie.
Brenda Fassie. For 9. And number 20, any football fans in the room?
David Beckham.
No, not David Beckham, not Peter Crouch. It's Ryan Giggs. Who played probably Manchester United, then just